Hi, my name is Danny Dolan. I'm the IT director for the Libertarian Party of Georgia, and I'm happy to present this uh, information on smart living without the cloud of big tech. Uh, mm, just a picture of me there and a little bit of credentials, a couple of degrees in computing. But most importantly, I've for this is something that I've tinkered with at home, and I hope to share some of my experience, some of the things that I've learned that have worked, some things I would do better if I were starting again from scratch, and hopefully set some other folks on the journey to embrace what technology has to offer without opening up their homes for security threats and concerns. Let's see. We are in an amazing time now. So many things that were fiction and fantasy when a lot of us were growing up are here now. Uh, Communication devices that we can hold in our hand, uh, self-driving cars. We've got Knight Rider and a Tesla up there. Uh, Robot vacuum cleaners, voice assistants. So many things. Um, that science fiction fiction these days struggles to keep up with what's impossible. It is really a great time to be living, but there are uh, concerns and dangers. Tansnaffle, there ain't no such thing as a free lunch. A couple of stories I'm sure you may have heard of uh, security, the big name security providers just giving up information with no warrant, no consent from the homeowner, and it's not just a concern from police, which or government spying, which is concern libertarians talk about a lot, but uh, any backdoor that these companies can use. There are bad players out there on the internet that are not government. Um, Eavesdroppers, hackers, mischief makers. So we want to have security, but it can be a scary time too. But there is a better way. There is a better way. I do believe that you can be secure in your home, secure in your digital life as well as your physical life. Some of the basic ideas that we'll work with. You want to own your home network, and I mean uh, really own it. You want to own your own router. If a lot of internet service providers may offer you, oh, we'll set up wireless networking in your house, and they'll come in and their modem will have a built-in Wi-Fi network in it. Um, that's nice, but that's not what we want. You can leave that Wi-Fi router, that Wi-Fi that your internet service provider gives you running, but you will want to have your own wireless network, even if that means you plug your own router into their router. You want to be able to get into the router and get to all the security settings. And you want to be able to turn off UPnP, that's Universal Plug and Play. That is a big security hole that started out as a good networking idea. Make it possible for people to set up devices on their network and not have to configure the router. But it has become a big open door for uh, malicious software to work its way into people's home networks. And you will also want to really own the devices on your home network. If you, A lot of wireless routers these days that you can buy will have a guest network option. I like using a guest network at home. I can give uh, my guests the password, and they don't have to get onto the network where they could see my devices. Uh, One of my kids even has a Chromebook from school, and I have that one on the guest network because I can't get in to check all the security settings for that device, so I don't consider it fully mine. So it goes with the guests. You can build your own server, your own mini cloud at home with a NAS, that's network attached storage, or another computer. Maybe it's a Raspberry Pi with an external hard drive attached to it. This is a great way to keep and control your own data and to monitor and manage your devices from inside your network without relying on cloud services from outside. You'll want to avoid Google and Amazon, of course. You saw the headlines before um, about how they can eavesdrop on all your data, um, even if they anonymize it. It's yeah, it's just not. It's just nice not to have it out there. Um, you will have to shop around, do some homework, do some planning. The products that work great today, there might be better products out there next year. Um, so I can give you pointers to where you can do research, pointers to how you can plan. I'm going to mention some brands that I've used. I'm not getting paid for any of them, but it I c- like I said, I'm sharing my experience. Also, always use very strong security measures as much as you can. If you have to communicate and from your network to your network on the go, use a VPN if you can. Use multi-factor authentication, 2FA, whether that's an app on your phone that gives you a new security code every 60 every minute or so, or whether it's an email that you get every time you log in. Um, there are steps you can take to keep yourself safe. Some of the things that you can do with smart home living. Uh, One of the first things comes to mind is home security. Uh, Many of us, you've seen security systems you get from ADT and other companies where you hire a local company or a big name company to come in and install the hardware, and you've got a contract, and they monitor your home 24/7. You get a nice discount on your home insurance and a sign to put out in your yard. Uh, Downside of that is you've got someone else's hardware in your home, and you've got someone else monitoring your home, and you want to trust that they're on the up and up. Hopefully they've been reviewed and certified and all that. But again, it's not your hardware. What we want is for you to own your own hardware, your own security cameras, and you can monitor your home. Uh, Lighting control, electrical and power control is a very big use of home automation. Every year, I like to plug in my Christmas lights to smart plugs, and they will automatically turn on at sunset and then turn off late after everyone's gone to bed. I've got one of um the one of the kids' bedrooms in my house has a walk-in closet at the very far end of the hall, and they always leave it on. So I have set up my home automation to turn it off after 30 minutes because no one because otherwise they'll turn on that closet light in the morning and then go off to school and leave the light on all day, use up energy. I know one person I visited his home. He had motion sensors in all of his rooms, and the lights would come on automatically when you entered the room, and it was all controlled inside the house. That was very cool. Then I've also seen people write scripts and programs that will uh, monitor, that will keep a track of your lights being turned on and off in the house. So, and then when you go into vacation mode, the system can keep your home looking occupied, which is just a nice thing to do when you're away on vacation. And then uh, there's also ways to monitor, make sure keep your power and water usage under control, which is nice. So for security, uh, you will want to own your own. You will own your own hardware. A lot of systems these days are very easy to install. Um, a good system will let you do your own monitoring. A great system will let you store your video inside your own home, not in the cloud. Uh, you can get some systems. You'll buy a storage device from the manufacturer, or you can build your own storage and monitoring. As I said, yeah. My experience has been mostly with the Eufy brand. I've got a doorbell, a smart doorbell, and uh, I've also worked with their security cameras. Nice things about it is that their system comes with a unit that is inside the house, connected over a local wireless connection, uh, completely local, and the video is stored there, and it also works as the chime for the doorbell. Um, the uh, you don't have to use their additional services that they offer. You can also set up two-factor authentication with their app to make sure that if anyone tries to log into your security system, you will get an email notification. Very easy to install. I've used the uh, internal battery doorbells and security cameras that don't need any wiring experience. Just mount it to the side of the house and pair it up with, uh, configure it with the app. Um, the uh, they also sell a version of their doorbell that can be wired to your existing uh, home chime wiring, but there are a few different versions of standards of doorbell wiring out there, and if you don't know what's what, it's just as easy to use the battery powered one. Just take it down every 6 months or so, um, and it's less than a day to plug it in and charge it up back fully. And then you can also get solar charging accessories for their outdoor cameras. The limitation I found with the Eufy brand is that I've had a heck of a time trying to configure it to work with my with things like home assistants or other components that I would have in the house, which would be a nice to have. There are some other brands out there. Amcrest, Doorbird seem to have good reputations. I like Eufy because it was easy for me to set up. I was able to set it up also for my mother, who uh, is not going to be doing anything complicated, but she wanted a simple, easy to use system, and it is. Another thing you can do that I've done is that you can build your own mini cloud, your own home server. And this is mine. It's not big yet. I'm building, but it's pictured there with a rubber band gun. That's a wooden gun that is just cool to have. I put it there for scale, give you an idea of how big the box is. This one is a QNAP 453D. It's got 4 drive bays there that can be pulled out. Drives can be mounted and unmounted, removed, plugged in. while the device is still running. I have 2 drives so far and planning to get more. You This is the kind of thing that you will want to build and expand. Uh, talk more about that. Network attached storage device. Uh, what you get in the operating system is built in. It is usually a Linux type operating system that I've seen. You get drive bays. Uh, you'll want to check the manufacturer's recommendations on which drives have been tested and are compatible, but you can get many terabytes of drive space this way. You can start small and build. You can grow. You can. Um, it is very much recommended to get drives in identical matching pairs or sets of 3. That way, you can, if you get an identical matching pair of drives, you can set them up in a RAID configuration, which will make for uh, instant backup for hardware failure. That won't be the only backup you want. You will still want to have your most important files stored on your NAS and somewhere else. But it's a good start to have at least one layer of backup there. I use my web browser to control the NAS. If you look back at that picture, there wasn't a keyboard or monitor plugged into it. It is designed for remote control. Limit, uh, remote meaning still in the house um, for the most part. You could open it up to the outside network, but that's a security risk. But I control it from my desktop computer, and I found the initialization and the setup very easy. You can set up shared folders for inside your network. If you want to accept to get at your files from away from home, you will want to use a VPN, like I said. And most of these devices have a number of ways to add functionality, but for the most part, it's all around storage. Major brands, the 2 that seem to uh, rule the market right now are QNAP that I've used and Synology, which I've heard other people swear by. They both have a lot of strengths, a lot of things to and some complaints, but they both seem to be very good. And I've also heard of people built taking a Raspberry Pi that is a cheap um, computer on a board and plugging external storage into it, and that is another way to build your own home storage or control device. Some of the things you can do. I have been in the process of breaking away from relying on Google Drive and Photos. Uh, a lot of us have gotten very used to being able to share share files and photos through Google's services, but it's nice to be able to start to break away from that. Um, yeah, and I don't have to pay if I'm filling up on drive space. I can put it somewhere where I control it. You can. It's a very good idea, like I said, to back up data that you have elsewhere. There are a number of synchronization apps. I've used Resilio Sync, the home free version. It's based on the BitTorrent protocol to mirror folders between the NAS and other locations where I have files that I just want to have backed up. There are also apps on the NAS for if you have a website out there that you control. I've got a couple of websites that I maintain on professional hosting services, but I want to have a local backup in case those ever go down. And so I've got my NAS configured to periodically go out and sync with my WordPress sites. Uh, a lot of NAS systems also often come with their um, available security system monitoring uh, apps. If you've got a uh, one of those other brands that has um, again, you want to shop around and check what brands work with what, but you can get a set up your NAS to be the brains behind your home security system. One friend of mine had his NAS set up that way and was able to display his all of his security cameras for his house on the living room TV, which is a neat option. Home Assistant is a really great program for setting up smart home interactions and control. And then I am also a big fan of this software Plex to have your own home media server. Home Assistant is powerful stuff. Um, it is an open source software. It can uh, run on many NAS devices. It can also run on a Windows server or a Raspberry Pi, as I said. It is it puts local control and privacy first, as it says here. That's the big focus. Is that it's open source and it's all about local control and privacy. The vision of the people behind Home Assistant is that you should be able to control the various smart devices in your home from within your home, and ideally without going through any third party or cloud services. Sometimes in setup, it's you might need to go through some services to authenticate to help Home Assistant find your devices, but ideally you want to be able to control everything from inside your house. Uh, it works on many platforms. It works with many devices, and I'm going to really quick uh, jump over to show the a couple of things uh, with Home Assistant in particular. Here's my Home Assistant. Oh shoot, it just refreshed on. It's refreshing on me. Okay, um, where I've got my Christmas lights. These are smart plugs, and some of them are not plugged in right now, but I can turn them on and off remotely. I could set up automations with them, and I can check the power usage, which is nothing right now because I haven't got my Christmas lights up yet. Um, and here is the Home Assistant website where you can take a look at the very wide variety of devices that you can integrate with, from uh, a handful of smart doorbells. Oh, browser is very slow at the moment. You can integrate with uh, doorbells, with climate sensors, with uh, uh, information on finance, information about your network, uh, smart plugs, smart light bulbs. Um, and so a lot of vacuums, water heaters, a lot of things here that you can integrate with. And I'd encourage you to go out and just okay. And check out their website. Check out the options. All right, moving on. Um, I've got. I mentioned that I have started moving my photo archive to my network storage, and this is an app provided by the my NAS manufacturer, where I can view my family pictures, and it is a very nice alternative for getting away from the Google Photos that came with my phone. And then Plex is a wonderful piece of software. The idea with this the is that you copy your own movies, either your home movies or your purchased movies, to the to your storage, to your hard drive, and the server will index the files. It'll fetch information from public sources to give you a very pretty interface, and you can watch it on any device on your network using the Plex client or certain open source alternatives. Um, the uh, very nice thing about Plex is that it will handle a lot of different video formats. If you've got the original DVD, you can copy the special features for from the DVD to your folder with your video. This right here is a collection I inherited from my dad of unique and sometimes hard to find political science movies, including The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. If you ever get a chance to watch that, it is a brilliant uh, anti-war piece. Um, and to finish up, a few safety tips. Of course, uh, if you remember Doctor Strange, yeah, the warnings come at the end. Be very careful of malware and ransomware. One of the concerns I've heard about QNAP is that there have been a number of uh, ransomware attacks. But always when I read these stories of people who have been hit with ransomware, some of the first things they say was that they didn't disable UPnP, or they didn't keep up with the security patches that were provided, or they didn't disable the default admin account on the default root account on their server. So always make sure you take those basic safety steps. You need to be responsible with your hardware. Always use multi-factor authentication, and again, I'll say it. Use a VPN if you want uh, to get at your files remotely for any reason at all.